Hello and welcome to your Year 2 team. My name is Rachel Calvert. I teach your children on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Mrs Allen teaches on Thursdays and Fridays. We're very lucky to be supported by Miss Paul, Miss Davina Paul, who the children already know from Year 1, and she's been helping us to get to know your children, and she'll be working with children throughout the year. Here you can see the key aims for Year 2. Promoting self-motivation and a positive attitude towards learning has never been more important than this year with the break that the children have had in their learning. It's been lovely to have them back in school and to see them so happy to be back and happy to learn and be with their friends. So we'll continue to build on this as the year progresses. We've already seen a good manners and helpfulness with your children, and we'll continue to reward this and promote this at school. Developing organisational skills. So if the children come to school with a jumper or a cardigan, we do hope that they leave school with that jumper or with that cardigan. They do have a peg to put their belongings on, and they also have a tray to put things in as well. Please do make sure everything is named because the jumpers do look very similar. So it really does help us at 5 minutes past 3 when children can't find what they need. Presentation, we'll be working with the children on developing a neat handwriting script this year, working towards joining their handwriting. That will be through discrete lessons which will be taught through the week, a couple of times throughout the week, short little bursts of lessons, and then we'll encourage this handwriting script in their work as well once they've learnt the skills. So the core skills are English, Maths and Science. We have daily lessons on English and Maths. We also have short little catch-up maths meetings on a daily basis to work through skills that they've learnt in previous lessons to make sure that any gaps from last year are filled and we continue to build on their skills. Speaking and listening is very important to develop those skills as well in Year 2. We'll continue with show and tell on a Friday. If your child has something interesting that they've been working on or something very interesting that's happened outside of school through a club or an interest or hobby, then please do send that in on a Friday. And of course, the children will be helped towards working towards their independence for moving into Key Stage 2 and the demands of their Key Stage 2 curriculum towards the end of the year as well. So the way that we organise our curriculum is every half term we have a main theme, which you will see on the next slide, and a big question that goes alongside that theme that we'll pose to the children when we introduce the topic and then revisit that regularly to see whether we've managed to answer that question. We take a cross-curricular approach to our topic work and our themes, and we try and link all of our lessons where possible. Maths isn't quite so easy to link, but other lessons are, to the theme that we're covering that half term. We also like to go with the children's interests as well, and of course what's happening around the world will feed into the topics that we choose. So although we have mapped out the curriculum on the next slide, that would be subject to change if something else were to occur that the children were really interested in. We do teach grammar as discrete lessons throughout the week because it's important by the end of the year that the children meet the Year 2 expectations, which include knowledge of grammar. On a Friday morning, the children partake in a big write session, which we sometimes build up to throughout the week. Sometimes it's a retelling of a story, sometimes it's writing their own story, but it's to help sustain a piece of writing over a longer period of time. So we have a longer session for writing on a Friday. We are continuing with the Read Writing Phonics programme that the children have been, that they started in reception, have been working on since then. At the moment, that's 2 sessions a week. And we are just about to introduce the Read Writing Spelling programme as well. And there was a letter that went home to explain that in a little bit more detail. So we will be sending those spelling books home for you to log any words that fit our spelling pattern of the week. The Pen Pals is the cursive handwriting programme that we are following in school, which they will be using with Mrs Allen. And we also continue with the Maths Mastery programme, which is a a scheme of maths which goes through from reception all the way to year 6, making sure that the breadth of the curriculum is covered. They have adapted the programme this year to make sure that any learning from the summer term of year 1 isn't forgotten, and it's incorporated into the year 2 programme for this year. Here you can see the topic map from last year. So we started with Castles and Dragons in autumn 1, and we are planning to begin that topic this week. And the other topics, as you can see, are mapped out there for you. As I said before, they may be subject to change depending on the interests of the children, but we have planned things that we think the children would enjoy, but also things that meet the objectives for each of the non-core subjects, such as geography, history, DT and computing. You will have had a letter in your child's book bag to do with homework, and we've just mapped out here what the homework expectations are. So the spelling homework will begin next week. On a Tuesday, I will introduce the children to their spelling rule, and we will start thinking of examples of words that fit that rule. They then will practice in their logbook writing some other words that also fit that pattern that they might see in their reading books or out and about. You've already had the list of the common exception words to practice for the St Mary's Spelling Challenge. We've also been working on those in school. You might have seen a word search come home that we've been working on this week. There will be certificates for children who get full marks in those spelling challenges. So please do support your child at home to practice those spellings little and often. We do encourage the children to read at home every day, and for you to record any school books that your child has read in the reading diary. Please don't feel you have to be limited to reading just those reading books that we send home. We like reading comments where the children have been reading other things at home that they enjoy. It's always good to see the children are reading for pleasure and not just reading the reading scheme. I've uploaded some new activities onto the Mathletics website, so please do log on to that. There will be some maths games to play and also some spelling work on there as well. If you cannot find your logins from last year, then please ask myself or Mrs. Allen and we will get that for you. At the end of year 2 are the Key Stage 1 assessments. Now, these are national assessments set by the government, and in the past they've consisted of 2 reading assessments and 2 maths assessments. And these are carried out throughout the month of May. We do split them up so that we don't do it all in one week, because we don't want the children to get stressed by this. We don't want you to get stressed by this. We don't want to get stressed by this. So we don't actually call them tests or assessments. We will be calling them quizzes. And we will make sure that the children have had enough practice so that by the end of the year, it won't be something new that they'll be faced with. It'll be something they've seen before. Although the questions will be new, the actual format won't be, and they will hopefully have the confidence to tackle those questions when we sit them. Unless, of course, the government have decided by then that we're not going to carry them out this year. But we haven't heard that yet, so we are progressing as if we are going to be sitting those. Just some general reminders. PE days are Wednesdays and Thursdays, so please make sure that you send your child into school that day with their PE kit. It just saves a lot of time if they're already wearing their PE kit that day. Show and tell day is a Friday. Please do check every item of clothing for names. As I said earlier, they all do look the same, and it can be very hard to find them, especially when it's last minute that we're searching for a cardigan or for a jumper. So please, it really would help us and you if you can name everything. If we have any notices, we will put them on the board where you let us know if there's any changes to pickups, or we'll email them out with the newsletter. Thank you very much for listening. If you do have any questions about the year or about your child, then please do get in touch through your child's reading record or via the office if it's an email, and they will forward it on to us. And we really do look forward to working with you, getting to know you and your children this year. Thank you.